The planet is home to a higher-level life that observes and experiments on people. In order to swiftly assimilate into their community, they arrive on Earth with the intention of creating a new species with a stronger evolutionary history. In the human group, those are the lives, but is there anything they wish to conceal in order to accomplish that goal? Could that be the cause of human memory loss that we are unaware of? Perhaps in order to uncover this hidden truth, we must return to Dolores Cannon's era. Dreams can conceal deep experiences and memories that are concealed in our consciousness. Over time, memories can also become warped. We had a simpler, more innocent perspective on everything when we were younger. When a youngster grows up, he can see the things that caused him pain. Memories of events that are too unpleasant or upsetting to recall are typically buried. It is frequently acknowledged that the memory is no longer something to be feared when it is discovered and resurrected during puberty. Adults can think about and comprehend it. In the past, I had clients who wanted to recall a forgotten occasion. It must have been something horrible, they reasoned, since they had either forgotten or disregarded it. It proved to be an occurrence that was simply explained during adolescence. For instance, parents may have become irate due to poor behavior or disdain, when that incident was disregarded. The death penalty is not required. Usually, it's just the result of parents being upset. It's also common to believe that if something was hidden, it was because aliens and UFOs had some sort of contact with it. I found nothing pertaining to aliens in 9 out of 10 situations. For this reason, I usually advise investigators to begin with straightforward issues rather than complex ones. To put it another way, determine the most straightforward and logical answer before adding other variables. The truth will always be revealed when the deepest dimensions are used. Unless the subject lies or is incorporated into daily life, it cannot be concealed. Given their character, they might have lied or made up stories in that situation. However, these cases are extremely uncommon, and their narrative is always evolving. The tale will not be constant if people visualize it. Instead, it will change each time it is told. It will be dissected into fresh information. Furthermore, the narrative will not align with the model I have found. There's always a chance that I haven't gathered enough model pieces. Someone might write a narrative that depicts an entirely other situation that I haven't found yet. I must thus be receptive to that possibility and refrain from closing all the doors by myself. There will still be components that suit the model, though, even if there is a shift in perspective. It is understandable why an investigator's work is difficult. Particularly when data is involved, these examples have arisen simply because I am receptive to all possibilities. The most noticeable aspect of Fran, a 40-year-old divorced lady, is her red hair. She is quite content with her job at a well-known corporation. In 1988, she sought my help because she wanted to delve deeper into some unusually vivid memories. She was raised on a Mississippi farm, but she had never heard about UFOs in that rural region. Additionally, she doesn't interact with any literature or subjects pertaining to mysteries or the paranormal, but in this setting, things have happened, and memories are becoming increasingly hazy. Fran recalls seeing odd lights over her house a lot as a child. And her automobile was followed by lights when she grew older. She believes that these phenomena might be connected to UFOs because there is no plausible explanation for them. Oddly, she was not afraid when these things happened, but those who accompanied her were frightened. We chose to examine these scenes since she had no other cognitive recollections of them. When the coma-stricken individual gave further specifics about the scene, I conducted a great deal of investigation. We had no other expectations. I believe we can identify her personal issue if we take that approach. I refer to that as an issue with an active relationship. Since she was very small, she appears to have had a bond with her grandma. She has no idea what led to this predicament, because she feels that she has done something that makes her uncomfortable, even though she loves her very much. If the reason of the issue cannot be located in this prequel, it is preferable to go back to the prequel to deal with this type of situation. I therefore didn't give it much thought. I simply put it in writing and assumed that if we had time, we would look into this matter further. Fran is a wonderful and surprising object for a unique childhood experience. Since supernatural forces typically don't cause events without a reason, I made the decision to remain there and ask inquiries. She returned as a little girl. Her age was perfectly reflected in her appearance and mannerisms. She was playing with a little dish while sitting in the center of her bed at that age. She was not permitted to play with them because they belonged to her grandma, thus it was a unique occasion. However, she reasoned that it would be hard to destroy anything if she played on a large bed. She held a dish and a little bottle and giggled joyfully. She was also being taught how to play with them by her father, who was also present. He asked Fran to refer to himself as father, but it turned out that he was not her stepfather. It was clear that the visitor was an ordinary person rather than a stranger. She says that the monster standing on one side of the bed is quite tall and obese. All that's hanging on his body is a piece of cloth. It doesn't resemble the attire she typically dons. He seemed difficult to see. When the dirt gets moist and mingled with the flesh, his face looks like that. He has no eyebrows nor hair, he has large, sparkling eyes. By placing his palm on her head, he is teaching her how to make an animal fly, and as the body and tiny plates fly into the air, she becomes increasingly lightheaded. She laughed at him because she thought this was hilarious. Her grandmother burst into the room at that same time. She wanted to know what was happening in the room after hearing the sound of conversation. She believed her niece was planning something. Fran was disoriented when she opened the room's door. The tiny plates cracked as they plummeted. How she broke them was beyond her grandmother's comprehension. Despite Fran telling her that she did nothing, she was furious with her. Her grandmother, oddly enough, did not witness the monster. Did he vanish as soon as she entered the room? Fran unintentionally remembered the moment that made her and her grandmother angry. Because she was accused of doing something she had no intention of doing, the young girl was furious. Naturally, her father would not have understood even if she had given him an explanation. Fran would be charged with lying or copying Hao Huin, as she grew older. She came to the realization that something had occurred during her early years, but she was unable to recall it until she reached adulthood. He had been around her since she could remember, the young girl claimed. He would frequently run into her in the forest, go for a stroll, and strike up a conversation. She learned how to hear and listen from him, as well as colors and things that adults cannot see or hear. They are quite lovely. Fran used to accompany him up the light stairs, as well as to her house in the forest. The door frame at the top of the stairs has a gray, metal-like appearance, but it feels soft to the touch. He wanted to show her around, but he told her she couldn't stay for too long. She finds the doors leading into the apartments and the corridor to be somewhat odd. They are composed of numerous layers. In the large room, there is a section that I am not permitted to enter. It's everything right here. When the person is placed in a deep coma, information can typically be gathered in a variety of methods. Subjects frequently recollect their own prior lifetimes, but these experiences are constrained when they are in a body with a particular life cycle and are only able to share what they have learned and experienced during that lifetime. The subjects that were placed in a state known as death in the middle of life cycles gave me the greatest information. They were able to touch any information they desired at that time because the organs and appendages from the actual body had been eliminated. In the soul, I found a lovely place where knowledge had no boundaries. The library is my preferred location for research. Although my interviewees have given this location a variety of descriptions, I think they are all referring to the same location. They placed this location in the center of their mind. According to numerous subjects, it is a real building with material presented in a variety of ways to meet the demands of researchers at various levels. There are rooms with information shown on 3D graphics and books to read. When we arrive at the library, a guardian or librarian usually greets us and verifies our permission to use it. He will then lead us to the section of the library where we may locate the information we need. Although my patients may give varied descriptions of the library, I think it still occupies the same space in the soul. My favorite library in the entire world is this one. There is no roof or ceiling, and it is white. Numerous books are arranged in glass cabinets and on the shelves. Every topic has books about it in various formats that people are aware of. Books that chronicle the history of existing worlds or only those that will exist. Since everything is one, it encompasses the past, present, and future. Someone is in control of this location. I refer to him as the protector. He is in charge of the books, but he also has duties similar to those of the guardians. There are many documents that are not for us, such as poison or medication, but we also learn a lot of important stuff here. Let's return to the library's guardian. He is an intelligent being dressed in a white suit. He has a lovely face and a crown on his head. With all of these lights, he sparkles, and they complement the surrounding hues. We would be quite appreciative if he could learn more about the UFO phenomenon during our time. Is that information available to us? He claims that although these things have a lot of intriguing aspects, they are all a part of the plan. According to him, the experiment environment on Earth is not the only planet in the cosmos that has grown to be taller than us. He is displaying to me some stunning and serene stars. He shows me other stars and the Earth as well. He claims that this place, this area, and this area are home to the taller stars. Beautiful pictures of other universes are being shown to me by him. He claims that a lovely purple planet is the source of a lot of UFOs. They can leave their planet in the form of a soul, but they must change into a vehicle, almost like a spaceship, once they enter Earth's atmosphere, because their planet and Earth are different in degree. He refers to it as Betelgeuse. I believe it to be either an asteroid or a star. Additionally, he claims that they are present during critical times when the Earth brightens and joins the universe. We might not fully comprehend anything from this channel given our level of understanding. According to him, with the current rate of growth, certain questions might not have answers. He also gestures toward the other planets that surround our sun in a line. He predicts that 16 planets will be found in this solar system before the end of the Earth. In 2040 or so, a large planet will be found. In roughly 3,000 years, another planet will be found. And a different planet. The final planet will be this one. This will occur approximately 6,000 years after the Keto era. According to him, life exists on every planet, though it might not be the kind of life we are accustomed to in the modern world. Accordingly, the only planet in this solar system where humans reside is Earth. Human-like life once existed on Mars, and Neptune once had human-like souls. He asserts that souls, such as guardians, exist on every planet. The majority of the souls on these worlds are traveling faster than those of us on Earth. They will suffer when they arrive on Earth since they must travel more slowly, which prevents them from forming much. It's comparable to attempting to stop a wheel from spinning in a glass. According to time, humans first appeared on Earth some 70,000 years ago. Mars contains living forms that are very similar to those seen here. However, they are transported to a different region of the universe because they are out of sync with the spiritual development occurring on this planet as a result of energy misuse. When humans investigate that region, they will discover proof of this civilization. However, because people still have a greedy nature that seeks dominance and power, this information will not become widely accepted. Thus, only a select group of individuals with influence and power are granted access to this type of information. Aliens are currently observing humanity. But they don't make much of an effort to get involved. Since they are attempting to accelerate their progress, they can visit with a calm and kind demeanor. The majority of them originate from Aldebaran, which is located south and northwest of the Milky Way. The cosmos in which humanity originated includes the living forms from those locations. They are currently developing to a high degree in order to unite with the universe, following the progression of Earth's voyage. This is a soul alliance amongst living forms that are becoming more and more centered upon love and light. And that plan includes us. Not all life on Earth is positive, he remarked. Although they are a minority, there is one group that we may see negatively. They are members of a different group. They all have the trait of having calf-like traits. They have more calf-like eyes. According to him, they first evolved through a calf, which is comparable to a calf. However, their skin is not as smooth as ours, rather, it has rougher structures. Their eyes are as large as a calf. They have nostrils and a little mouth, but they don't actually have a nose or a mouth. They don't consume the same as humans do. They appear to have to take in the nutrients that are necessary for their survival. They travel on ships that are more shaped, such as bridges, eggs, or chickens. They build spaceships out of biological elements found in their world. This substance is mixed with materials such as rubber, plastic, glass, and metal. Despite being extremely hard, this substance is organic, able to endure heat exchanges up to extremely frigid temperatures, and able to travel great distances due to the fact that their home planet is on the opposite side of the universe. Because they are aware of solar energy, a solar energy collector provides energy to the ship. They refer to it as star energy, but we call it solar energy. They assist the ship move by gathering light from several stars. They employ a variety of stars to create a system that directs them to their destination, hence the term, star collector. They are only traveling through this region of the world. And they are all from a considerable distance away. Typically, they resemble a flying saucer in shape. In essence, a few different kinds of metals are used to make them. Metals that are extremely brilliant. I have no idea what kind it is. He claimed that although he will learn about these metals and ships in the future, they are not found on Earth. It is impossible to compare them. They use mental energy to power the ship. He explained mental energy to me. The group's mental energy will make the ship go faster. The ships are propelled by this energy, which is captured and stored in batteries. I just heard about a huge design from him. Nothing is clear to me. He said, thought energy. Furthermore, the strength of this energy is unknown to the ship's occupants. He claimed that I had a really hard time understanding the word. Batteries are not used to store them. What he's attempting to say is beyond me. My mind finds it hard to comprehend its meaning, he stated. People on Earth will eventually broaden their horizons to comprehend these events. We are not prepared to comprehend this knowledge at this rate of speed. The 2 moons of the starry sky have served as a basis for their 1,000-year wanderings in this region. They also showed me a base in the seas on Earth. Their ship could submerge, he replied. There is another location someplace on the mountain, and this one is close to the Caribbean Sea. Yes, such as in the region of the Amazon River in South America. Then there's another location. He showed me a location close to the water in either Australia or New Guinea. He claimed that these folks are attempting to assist others and are brimming with love and light. For thousands, and thousands of years, they have existed on Earth. They can be referred to as observers. Because they are highly developed life forms, these individuals can travel through all of space. On the other hand, 2 identical ships have plummeted to Earth. One fell in the Indian Ocean, the other close to the desert of Arizona. On the ship, 2 bodies were burned. He explains that while they were incinerated. Scientists nevertheless looked at them. People from this region of the planet and aliens, including species like these, have been frequently contacted by the US government and the United Nations. They were worried that people might become confused, so they decided not to publish the information. A radio operator in Lean Exo once made touch with a group on Earth, but the ship left them and they went away. He had to have shock treatment after they brought him to a mental health facility. And now it appears that he has a perverted mind. This is because he gave the Soviet Union information that they feared would confuse the nation and make it impossible for them to maintain control or authority. In other instances, we hear about ships that appear to be gathering water or energy from various locations on Earth. In actuality, they are communicating and gathering energy. They are observing various marine life forms, including pigs, seagulls, and elephants, while keeping an eye on nuclear energy, electricity, and communication information as they show up on various electrical and communication systems. These animals have undergone too much evolution, and you are comparable to middle school pupils attending a religious school. In essence, the 2 primary species depicted in our photos are the group of observers and the reptile species. How many other species are actually coming to Earth? These are the 2 primary groupings now manifesting in this region of the cosmos. Higher-level beings, like observers, occasionally visit Earth as well, but they are only 10,000 years old each time. These individuals have a connection to the origin of life on Earth. Observers contribute to human development and advancement. We can see them as angels, he used to remark. They continue to assist us in accelerating human evolution today. They are contributing to the development of a more ideal human body by strengthening the immune system and enhancing the body's capacity to combat illness. Therefore, human bodies will eventually be able to combat the majority of diseases that affect our planet. This technique essentially aims to produce a more perfect material body so that the soul can become a more perfect body after being elevated to consciousness and then request a more perfect body, in order for human souls to integrate into what is known as the Federation, the Universal Federation of Advanced Creatures. Observers have come to aid in the progress of mankind from prehistoric times to the Golden Age. Other creatures provide a certain function. In order to discover what is out there and what they can utilize for their living systems on their home planets, they are bringing together humans from all around the universe. For thousands of years, they have been permitted to visit this place in order to see what is valuable on Earth. Numerous items, including stars and other kinds of rocks, particularly magma, have been removed from Earth. They have therefore been seen frequently in Asia, Africa, and particularly in the vicinity of India. In order to support their living systems, they have taken some of the most specialized minerals from Earth that are not present on their world. They still require plant life in their other worlds. Despite the fact that they have utilized it to create a completely different ecosystem in their home country, where the atmosphere, gravity, and density are all extremely different. Many details about the sun, stars, light energy, and other topics were freely shared with the aliens during the Atlantis civilization. Both that civilization and the Lemurian civilization have developed with the active participation of observers. They have also engaged with the inhabitants of the living civilization, the Babylonians, and the Egyptians. The observers are the only ones permitted to visit Earth at that time, and they are all tied to those civilizations in one way or another. Some people have changed quickly to a greater level of motion in order to serve during the Earth's period. Although many souls have arrived and changed on Earth, some people also resemble the group of observers who once lived there in a different shape. But only a few dozen people worldwide are keeping an eye on us, particularly on our advancements and capabilities in the nuclear field, laser technology, and nuclear technology. They are keeping an eye on all of the energy development initiatives that are taking place. According to experts, those who watch have more mental energy, therefore by enabling ourselves to operate on a higher mental level, we can repel negative creatures. A higher mental power will undoubtedly push it back, much like a bull, and they won't be drawn to this type of energy. The fact that these people's bad traits on Earth include a form of abandonment is an intriguing finding. Unexpectedly, the negative zones are invariably represented by the emblems of snakes and dragons. What matters is that Earth's changes will be more fluid after the impending turbulence, that there will be more lessons to learn, that there will be assistance in traveling between the planets, that you will begin to discover more about your own universe, and other things. You'll get more support from people in other places, and you'll get more involved in it as well. After that, there will be a mutual understanding and connection to cooperate. You were previously unaware of this. You don't know much about the other species in space, but they know a lot about you. Now that the understanding has occurred, everything will go without a hitch. After the chaos, everything will go rather smoothly. How do you feel about the inhabitants of this lofty planet? Are they actually accelerating our evolution so that we might join their planet's superpowers? Kindly leave your thoughts in the video's comment box at the conclusion. I'll see you in the upcoming video. I hope you have an energetic new day and goodbye.